What do you know about being an NPO leader, being the executive director, leading an NPO? Sure, you might have some ideas of helping people, but what about doing it on scale and doing it effectively? Well, I do have the perfect guest lined up for you today on this episode. I'm Christopher Schoenwald, podcaster, entrepreneur, educator, coming at you from the land of the rising sun, Japan. I'm here to deliver insights on careers that could be for you. So stick around. I think you're going to like this one. I do want to start this out by saying these are the highlights of the main conversation that I had over on my podcast. You can find Life as a ... wherever you access your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever it might be. So I encourage everyone to check it out. The guest that I have on today, he and his organization are doing some truly wonderful things. And yeah, they operate in the space in serving the needs of high school and college age students and helping them along in their education and career choices. And from experience, I mean, it is not an easy space to operate in. And here's our guest telling us a little bit about that.
We just passed 30,000 users on TikTok. I jokingly say that's pretty awesome if you're doing college and career content and you're not taking your clothes off, right? So
I can totally relate to that point there that our guest was just sharing, because it is not easy trying to get some traction within this space. So shameless plug time, shameless plug alert. Hit that subscribe button here. It would help a ton. I know, okay, that was a little bit crass, maybe over the line. Back to the show. My guest is John Branam, and he leads this organization called Get Schooled. And I'll let him take it from here.
Get Schooled is a 13-year-old organization. We talk about ourselves as being America's only all-digital, free college and first jobs advisor. Support young people in 3 journeys. The first is accessing and sort of being prepared for to continue their education after high school. So kind of accessing post-secondary. The second journey is to be successful during their first year or two while they're there. And then the third is to find and be successful in their first job / early careers.
There you go. I mean, that is the type of thing that you are doing when you're leading an NPO. You are creating change and impact on scale. You're changing people's lives, essentially. So let's hear a little bit more about some of the roles and responsibilities of such a leader.
I spend the majority of my day in a couple of big buckets. The first, for better or for worse, is fundraising, right? So I got to raise a couple $1 million every year to keep the lights on for the organization. And so I probably spend maybe 50-60% of my time doing that. Then I spend another chunk of time in conversation with existing partners or potential partners. So organizations locally and around the country with whom we could partner that are supporting similar youth, but who do not have a digital component to their job. And then the third thing is then being the sort of strategic leader and cheerleader for the organization. So what's our course as we think about, the months, weeks, and year ahead? And then engaging with staff, being a thought partner for them, again, and a cheerleader for their work.
Yeah, and in the full talk, we really get into the discussion about working with funders. I mean, this organization, Get Schooled, they were founded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, as well as Paramount Pictures. Beyond that, they work with the likes of Carnegie Corporation, New York, Comcast, Jordan Brand, as well as the NFL. So a lot of what he's talking about there is of real value if you're interested in this line of work. Beyond that, though, he also shared some details about how they digitally go about interacting with their target segments, with youth. And I think that's really insightful.
Get Schooled has like 150,000 young people that follow us on social. We have 98,000 that receive our weekly emails with that digital content. We have more than 8,000 educators who use our weekly digital content. So we're deploying it in the places that young people are. And then we send that, via email, via text. And then the last thing that we do is we follow that content up that's deployed digitally with personalized support. So we help thousands of young people every year by reviewing their college application essays. We will help them complete the FAFSA. We review their resumes. So all of those very tactical pieces that can actually help young people take that next step.
The next thing we get into are some of the rewards of this work. And yeah, there are definitely quite a few. notion of the work that you're doing being as meaningful as it is. I mean, it's not hard to see how it would be. It sounds quite demanding. It sounds like it could be stressful at different points, but ultimately, like if you're kind of like bringing it right down to the micro level of what you're doing for individuals, and you're considering that, there must be a massive amount of fulfillment when you are considering it from that perspective.
My soul is so fed by the work that I'm fortunate to be able to do with my team every day that I almost don't really think about it. I can't imagine what it would be like to be doing work that was not so deeply rooted in mission. As a 48-year-old Black male and a father of an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old and two brown-skinned kiddos, it is a tremendous source of pride, and it is extremely important to me to be able to say, here's the work that I'm doing, here's what I'm trying to accomplish in the world, as a symbol for them about how you can engage in this world. So I think more about that, honestly.
Yeah, I really love that. I mean, it's totally the personal and the professional blending there. Now, John also shares a story about this up and coming social impact leader, his daughter. And let me just set the stage for the story really quickly. They're returning from a soccer game where his daughter was playing. They stop and they have this community brunch, and they strike up this conversation with this older couple. And from here, I'll let John take over.
And at some point, the couple says, okay, well, so what do you do? Right. And so my daughter says, hey, Dad, can I do this? Right. So I was like, yeah, cool. So she turns and she delivers the whole spiel, get school, mission, like everything, right? Lays it all out for him. And they're clearly clearly impressed, right? So then at the end of the conversation, the guy says, listen, he pulls out his business card. He says, hey, I actually run a family foundation in California. Why don't you shoot me an email? Okay. So I sent him an email the next day, and within a week, we had a $20,000 check. And I will tell you, it's not like a life-changing money, but that was and I'm going to say this crassly, that was the easiest 20,000. But more importantly, my daughter did all the work, and I told her, I said, look, we got a $20,000 check. She was like, what?
A few more trips to the ice cream shop for her.
I know. I was like, boy, you gotta I should hire you, right? You're going to be our front person. So super fun.
Yeah, love that. Again, personal and professional blending together. Well, I do think we are kind of drawing to a close in this video, but I do encourage you, head on over to wherever you access your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever it might be, and check out the full-length conversation. You are going to get a good idea of whether or not working with an NPO, leading an NPO, could be for you. And hey, while I've got your attention here, let's let YouTube know that this content, this stuff we're putting out here does matter. And the best way to do that, hitting the like button, hitting that subscribe button, that lets the algorithms know that this stuff should be getting out to more people. So yeah, with that stated, until next time, I'll see you soon.